easy doesn't mean anything. Easy just means easy. It doesn't mean purposeful. It doesn't mean impactful. It doesn't mean it matters. It's very meaningless. It's very shallow. Hello everybody. Thanks for taking the time and being here. This is the Dawson podcast. Another episode. And what's our topic today? We're talking about how easy equals miserable death. What do I mean? As humans, we are meaning-making machines. We're always searching and hunting for meaning and what things mean as well. So we make events mean things. We make objects mean things. We make certain behaviors mean things and all sorts of stuff. And we also search for meaning in our lives in general, our overall purpose. What are we here for? Those types of things. And you can spend days and days and days, you can spend months, years trying to find your purpose, trying to find some sort of meaning in the world, and that everything means. And you can get yourself into quite a dark spiral while doing that. You can get to a point where you're like, I don't even know what the point of everything is. Like, what's the point? It doesn't mean anything. Nothing ever even means anything. And it's a real nihilistic sort of view to be there, and it doesn't really serve you. You can get yourself into a real depressed state when you get to that point, when you're asking yourself, what's the point? And that's not a place you want to be in. And I can tell you a lot of reasons why you end up there. So first off, we're always looking for meaning. So when you hit a point in your life where things are sort of stagnating, or you're just always wanting more than what you have right now, you're looking for that deeper level, or that next level, you start asking yourself, well, what's the point? What purpose am I here? What's the meaning that what does this mean? And where can I find more purpose in life? Which is a perfectly fair thing to think. And I know I've done it a lot of times. I've gotten to a point where I need to evolve into the next version of me. And I'm like, okay, so is this it? Is this all there is? And I say, okay, so where am I now? Where's the meaning for me now? And I have to reevaluate and go again. And a lot of the times, it's because what we do, we start on a journey and things get a bit difficult, and then they become normal, which is good because difficult things become familiar after a certain amount of time, and then they become easy. And then you need to go to the next level. You might be thinking, well, what if I don't want to go to the next level? What if I just want to break? What if I'm at that point because I'm a bit burnt out, I just need to go on a holiday? Yeah, cool, fine, right, let's try that on. You go on a holiday and you get refreshed, you come back, you go again. But you can't just stay on a holiday. You can't just go on a holiday every time this happens, because eventually coming back is going to be less tolerable, and it's going to continue being worse and worse. And the holiday's not going to be enough to revive you to come back and go again. And you can't just stay on holiday all the time, because eventually the holiday becomes miserable, because there's only so long you can sit on the beach sipping pina coladas, it's stereotypical, before it becomes miserable, because you're not doing anything. You haven't got any meaning. You're just sort of floating and existing. And a lot of people end up coming out of retirement and coming back into the workforce and doing things in their retirement that isn't your standard retirement, because they get bored. Because too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing, no matter what it is. And you end up actually spoiling things that were enjoyable once upon a time, if you have too much of them as well. So everyone knows that food or that alcohol they've drank too much of, and you just can't drink that again or eat that food again, because you just killed yourself on it. You killed the flavour. So we end up at this place where we need to go to the next level. We need to evolve, and we have the choice of doing that and putting in that extra effort and learning new skills, or finding out more of us, or stepping into a new level of promotion in a career, or a relationship that goes deeper. And you get to a point where you have to take a bit of a leap of faith and dive into the pool and do all the things you need to do, take the leap and go to the next level. But that requires work, and it always requires work. It never stops requiring work. And then you might be listening to this like, oh, but I just don't want to do that. I don't want to have to keep putting in work, to keep being okay with things. I just want to do nothing. I just want to sit down and play my games. I just want to go on holiday. I just want to do that. And as I said, it eventually becomes miserable. It eventually becomes miserable and actually worse than where you were. You actually can't wait to get back to work so you can do something. But don't underestimate how easy it is to not do anything. So you get to the point where you have to decide and say, okay, so I need to do the work or I can do nothing. And you can keep doing nothing for a certain amount of time before nothing becomes excruciatingly painful, and then you have to come back over and do something. Or something terrible on this side happens that we never ever want to have, like you can end up hurting yourself into addictions, all sorts of silly things that you can get yourself into, and for those that are suffering with that, it really sucks. And I know about that myself, because I've been on this side many times. And it's very easy to not do anything. It's very easy to not try and go to the next level, to not amp up the next level of the business, to the next level of the career, the relationship, increase your finances, put the deposit down on the house. It's very easy to just continually avoid where you need to go and just hover over in no man's land and just exist floating along and not really have any purpose in your life. And that snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. Now, I really want to emphasize the fact that it seems obvious. It seems obvious that you would get to a point where you need to go to the next level, and that's what's going to bring more meaning into your life, so you go after that, and then eventually that's going to get to a point where you need to go to the next level and you keep going. And it seems obvious that that's what you would do. That is what you need to do, but it's not what a lot of people would do. On paper, it's like, oh yeah, of course. Well, of course you would go to the next level and you would keep climbing and keep progressing. But eventually you get to a point where the progressing is really difficult, because progression is generally difficult because you're stretching your comfort zone, you're stretching your boundaries, your skill set, you're learning new skills. You've got to put yourself through the trials and tribulations, if you will. You've got to go through that, what they call it, you've got to go through that initiation process to that next level. Your rite of passage, so to speak. And it's so easy to not do it. It's so easy to not do those things. It's so easy to not be the better person. It's so easy to be the terrible person, the one that says the nasty things, the one that fights back, the one that doesn't do their homework, the one that doesn't get their report in on time, that's late to work, to do all these things. It's very easy to be that person. This side is responsibility, and this side is lack of responsibility. It's all terrible and easy. And the thing is that easy doesn't mean anything. Easy just means easy. It doesn't mean purposeful. It doesn't mean impactful. It doesn't mean it matters. It's very meaningless. It's very shallow and yucky, and it doesn't challenge your mind, doesn't challenge your body. It's very easy to get into addictions, as I said before, and into a really bad space. On the side of responsibility, you are testing yourself and challenging your beliefs and who you are, and you're being the person you need to be consistently to stay over here. You're being the higher being. You're taking the high road instead of slinking down into those behaviors. You're at cause. You're taking responsibility for the things in your life and the actions you're taking in your life and the people around you in your world. You're involved in your life. You're living with meaning, with purpose. You have purpose because your purpose is the next thing that you're going to. And whatever that is for you, it's not cookie cutter. You don't just wake up and you're like, oh, that's the purpose. You've got to find it. You've got to do a bit of digging. You've got to find out what makes you sing, what makes your soul light up, all the things that I say. And go after that thing. And you have to chase it. You have to find it and figure out what it is. And a lot of people don't know. And that's why it's so easy. And it's easy to just keep not looking. But eventually, ignorance becomes painful. It's not bliss, as they say. And it's a really important saying. Ignorance is not bliss. And when you know that there's more to life and there's more to go, but you just don't know what it is, and it requires you to do a little bit of work to find out what it is, you can't ignore that. You can't ignore that, even though it's so easy to do so. But you'll just be miserable. And you can live a whole life on this side. You can die in the world of of my life happens to me and I'm just taking the easy road the whole time. But you will never die happy. You'll be on your deathbed regretting the things you didn't do. When you're living a cause and you're trying to go for the things you're going for, sure, maybe you missed a couple of things here and there, but you're not going to be regretting really big chunks of your life. You're not going to be suffering in those worlds of depression and almost a resentment for your previous actions, because that's the worst thing to have resentment for yourself and what you didn't do. So don't underestimate how easy it is to not do the right thing, or not do the better thing, or the whatever thing you want to label over here. It's just so easy to not do those things. Knowing this now means that you can choose what you want in your life, and you now know that there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be trials and tribulations, and you're going to have to prove yourself to you along the journey. So it means that you're able to choose what you want, and you do have the choice to choose what you want and how your life goes. You have the choice. And purpose only comes from responsibility and taking on responsibility in your life. And meaning follows purpose and responsibility. It has to follow those things. And as I said, eventually you're going to hit that new thing, it's going to plateau off, and then you're going to have to go for the next thing, and that's normal, and you can expect those things. And that's why it's really good to know this, so that you don't hit the roadblock and think, well, I'm here now, so now what now? And then you just choose the easy road, and then you fall down again. You know there's another level, there's a next step, there's always a next step, it's always growing, it's always ever turning. It's the energy of the soul, it's always growing. And the best part about knowing this is that you have choice, that you get to choose what you want to do. You get to choose what has meaning for you. Look at what you do. Look at what you do for a hobby, for fun, what you spend your money on, and the areas you hang around in, and find fulfillment in, and you find joy in, and find out a way that you can do that on a regular basis. Maybe you can turn that into a business. Maybe you can regularly do that, do this activity, and that keeps you sane for the rest of the week. You do it maybe twice a week or something like that, and you do your job, and that's fine, and that's got its own rewards and responsibility in there, and you're happy with where that's at, and you've got this thing that you can always look forward to, or add that next level of responsibility or meaning to your life, which is great. And you get to choose that. You get to choose whether it's your entire career, whether it's your relationship, whether it's a hobby, or whatever that looks like for you, whether it's deep self-expression or self-exploration, or whether it's dance, or whether it's music, or whether it's cars, or building a car, or whether it's climbing a mountain, whether it's becoming an amazing chef. I don't know. Whatever the thing is for you, you need to chase that. Whether it's teaching, whether it's speaking from stage, or performing, whatever it is for you, you get to take that on with those responsibilities of those roles that you then choose, and they will create meaning and purpose within your life. And at any time that it starts to get easy, you can start asking yourself, okay, what's the next level? How do I challenge myself again? How do I bring this up to the next level? And sometimes you've done everything you can do in that area. Sometimes you just need to move on to the next thing. That moves over into the comfort space, and you need to move on to the next level of whatever it is. Maybe start a whole new thing, and that's fine too. Whatever brings meaning and purpose in your world, dive into that in whatever way and shape and form that looks like for you. Just don't choose the easy route as much as you can. There's gonna be times when you're gonna fall back and choose the easy thing. Try not to, because it will just breed a miserable life. It will breed toxicity in your world, and laziness, and all the things that you could possibly do. It could be a million things on this side, really. It's not across the board every time that happens. And it's so easy to slip into that. So you've got to have a bit of accountability and responsibility, and purpose and meaning. That's how it comes. And trust that makes sense. And when you have that life set up, and you are tackling those hurdles and doing the things you need to do on a regular basis, you're being the person you need to be, you're showing up, you're being accountable for you, and catching yourself when you're slipping, taking on that responsibility, you'll then notice that when you are in those places, that you're coming alive, and that rolls over into other areas, and other people can see that, and you can then influence other people in that way and help them find their meaning and their purpose. And you don't even want to have holidays. You don't want to run away like you would if you're on this side where you need a break. Sometimes you don't need a break from doing the thing that you love. Sometimes you do. You need a break so you can recharge, come back again, tackle the next hurdle. But other times you don't have to, and you just lit up every time you do it. And that's the key, is to do that and find the thing that lights you up. Dive into it. Load yourself with responsibility. Load yourself with accountability, and meaning and purpose follow. And that is the key. Don't choose the easy path. Simple as that. Anyone can choose the easy path. If the path is easy, it means everyone can do it. And it means that it isn't unique, and it's not special, and it's not something that will challenge you. Once upon a time, taking a photo from your phone was amazing, and now everyone can do it. So it's not really that special anymore. It's just a photo. And that's essentially it. So try to find the things where it challenges you and go for it. So that's been today's episode. That's been the podcast today, the Jesse Dawson podcast. And I would love for you to like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all the things. Maybe do one of them. If you just want to like it, that'd be great. If you just want to comment, that'd be great. If you just want to subscribe and you haven't already followed or liked or whatever, then please do. Please do. You'll get more of the content. You'll see more of my stuff, and it'll help me out. And that'd be great. I love to be helped out. And in a way, you doing that is your way of giving back to me. So I've bestowed you with this, and now the best way for you to pay it forward would be to share it to somebody and pay it actually forward, or you can like and comment, and that helps me too. This has been another episode, another day, and I'll see you in the next action-packed episode. Alright, see you later.